from It Ends With Us is now countersuing his co-star Blake Lively over her claims he tried to orchestrate a smear campaign against her. Baldoni is also suing the New York Times for reporting on Lively's allegations. The Times stand by that reporting. It all started with sexual harassment claims against Baldoni, which he denies.
On screen, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively's chemistry may have been palpable, but between takes, it appears there was turmoil. In a new 179-page lawsuit, Baldoni pushes back against Lively's claims that he sexually harassed her and tried to ruin her reputation, alleging instead that the actress and her husband, actor Ryan Reynolds, who's also named in the suit, conspired to hijack creative control of the film and make Baldoni the real-life villain. The suit alleges Baldoni and his business partner were led into situations that would later be characterized as harassment by Lively, including inviting Baldoni to her trailer to work on lines while she pumped breast milk. And despite Lively's claim that the film ignored union recommendations that an intimacy coordinator be present during the early stages of production, Baldoni's suit claims an intimacy coordinator had been engaged, but Lively refused to meet with the coordinator to plan out their scenes. The court documents also push back on Lively's accusations that Baldoni fat-shamed her on set. The suit claims he reached out to Lively's personal trainer to ask what Lively weighed so he could train his back muscles in preparation for a lift scene. Baldoni's suit comes after Lively sued him for allegedly hiring a PR firm to damage her reputation after her complaints about workplace harassment, including improvised kissing in scenes.
In a statement, lawyers for Lively called the lawsuit, quote, another chapter in the abuser's playbook, adding the strategy of attacking the woman is desperate. It does not refute the evidence in Miss Lively's complaint.
Actor and director.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Viral. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on Viral. Joining the conversation, we talk about Justin Baldoni suing Blake Lively, counseling her for $400 million. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Viral here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. We get to filmmaker, actor Justin Baldoni, who's known for Jane the Virgin, has now caught himself in a crosshair with his co-star Blake Lively in their movie It Ends With Us. Blake Lively, the movie was supposed to talk about DV situation, but Blake Lively decided that she wanted to pivot and talk about something else, about sexual harassment and much other stuff. Well, let's get to the latest on what's going on between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively right now with this ongoing lawsuit right now.
For $400 million. Here's what we know. On January 16th, Justin Baldoni announced that he has filed a lawsuit against his It Ends With Us co-star Blake Lively and her husband, actor Ryan Reynolds, for defamation and extortion, adding another layer to the complex web of legal controversies surrounding the film. Baldoni's suit is the latest development in an ongoing dispute, which began when Lively went public with a lawsuit via a New York Times article which describes sexual harassment allegations against Baldoni and accused him of trying to ruin her reputation when she voiced her concerns. Baldoni then filed a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times, accusing the publication of defamation and intentionally framing the article to support Lively's self-serving narrative. Following the article's release, Baldoni faced an overwhelming amount of backlash and was dropped from WME Talent Agency, which also represents Lively and Reynolds. Baldoni's recent suit claims that Reynolds approached a WME executive at the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere and expressed his deep disdain for Baldoni, suggesting that the agency was working with a sexual predator. Now, Baldoni and production company Wayfarer Studios are seeking $400 million in damages, alleging that Lively and Reynolds hijacked the production and marketing of It Ends With Us, and then manipulated media to smear Baldoni with false allegations of sexual harassment. The lawsuit also states that Lively was so close and comfortable with Baldoni that she freely breastfed in front of him during meetings, and accuses Lively of recasting such moments as sexual harassment and misconduct. Baldoni is also claiming that he was concerned about his back problems regarding a scene where he would lift Lively during the film, so he privately asked Lively her weight, looking to discuss it with his personal trainer and find a way to safely film the scene. The lawsuit claims that Reynolds then swore at Baldoni and accused him of fat-shaming his wife. Lively's lawyers have stated that Baldoni's suit stems from an age-old defense tactic in which the abuser attempts to turn the tables on the victim after being accused of sexual harassment. Lively's representatives have stated that Baldoni's methods are known by experts as DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim offender. Baldoni's lawsuit states that It Ends With Us, a film that Baldoni envisioned would honor the survivors of domestic violence and was intended to make a positive impact, has now been overshadowed beyond recognition solely as a result of Lively's actions and cruelty. In response to Baldoni's accusations, Lively's attorneys said, while the victim focuses on the abuse, the abuser focuses on the victim. They have stated that Baldoni's strategy of attacking the woman is desperate and does not refute the evidence in Miss Lively's complaint, and it will fail. However, Baldoni's lawyers have confidently stated that this is a battle that Lively will not win and will certainly regret.
I told you earlier that we had a counterpiece to it where Blake Lively sued Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment and workplace environment. Well, we know that that's the counter. We got it right here. So if you ever want to see it, this is the video to it to catch up on what's going on. Justin sued Blake for $400 million, citing that her husband, Ryan Reynolds, had something to do with, and a host of others, including Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and Layla now denied that she did it. This is getting more crazier and crazier as the movie was supposed to promote and bring awareness to DV, and the movie didn't do so. Blake Lively decided that she wanted to talk about her own stance on the film and the project, promoting her drink line and a host of others, making it seem like it was a rom-com and stuff. Well, let's hear what you people had to say. You people had a lot to say about it. Let's hear about what you people had to say about the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively situation right now. What do people say?
Well, it just got even messier because Justin Baldoni is now suing Blake and Ryan Reynolds directly for $400 million. And guys, there are some big bombshells in this 179-page suit. Let me break it down. One of the biggest ones for me personally is that they're claiming that the reason that the marketing efforts were so disjointed and why Blake came across as so callous and not really caring about the issue of DV, but just wanting to promote her hair care brand and flowers and all of that stuff, is because Blake never even read the book. Right here, there's a text message snippet where they say, we understand why Blake doesn't want to read the book. However, by reading it, she will truly understand Lily's character and why she chose to stay with Ryle. But right there saying she never even read the book, which, how could you not read the book? And then here it says that after the movie premiered, when Blake was getting all of the public backlash, she and Ryan worked with their talent agency, WME, who also represented Justin at the time, and said that they needed Justin and Wayfair to publicly apologize for the issues, the mistakes that happened during production, saying that this would help deflect, all of the negative media coverage that was coming out about Blake. And let me read this verbatim, guys. It says, Reynolds and Lively drafted a statement and demanded that Baldoni, Wayfair, and Heath issue that statement, requiring them to apologize to the public and fall on their sword, despite having done nothing wrong, or else, quote, the gloves would come off. And it gets worse because it says multiple WME executives acknowledge that in their experience, Lively and Reynolds' threats were not to be taken lightly. But Justin refused to apologize. He said, no, they did nothing wrong. Here, there are emails that are included from Justin to the author of the book, Colleen, where he just discusses how important this film is to him, how much he wants to option the book for a film, and these date back to 2019. And then there is this text thread between Blake and Justin, where it shows a history of them texting almost daily, this friendly banter where they're joking, they're nice, and seemingly showing that they're working well together. Even making jokes about Justin complimenting her and her saying what an amazing time it has been working with him on this film. I'm just getting started into this lawsuit, so I will be back with more updates as soon as I go through more pages.
Shows that Sony was just as surprised as Justin Baldoni when finding out that Ryan Reynolds was the one to write the rooftop scene. There's an email in the lawsuit from Sony saying, hi, we certainly need some clarity on public comments made about Ryan Reynolds potentially contributing writing services for the rooftop scene. Can you provide additional information on this, as there are no contracts, his services are not in the chain, nor is his name anywhere in the credits. One of the many media reports which cite this claim made by Blake Lively, thanks for clarifying if services were rendered. Obviously, we require signed documentation immediately, which Wayfarer responded saying that they are not aware of any writing services rendered by Ryan Reynolds. Also saying that we are learning about these allegations in real time. Now we get into point number 46, the false allegations of fat shaming against Baldoni. Baldoni was introduced to the trainer Dawn, who became Baldoni's personal trainer by Lively. And he includes text messages to show that he was working with Dawn. If this goes to trial, I am definitely curious to hear from Dawn, because it says that Baldoni reached out to Dawn asking what Lively weighed because he was trying to train his back muscles in preparation for a lift scene. This was important to avoid injury, not only to Baldoni, who suffered from lifelong back injuries, multiple bulging discs, and chronic pain, but also to Lively if the lift could not be completed successfully and safely. The next morning, he was summoned to the penthouse by Lively and was greeted by Ryan Reynolds, who we heard berated him in the other lawsuit. He alleges that Ryan Reynolds said, "How dare you effing ask about my wife's weight? What's wrong with you?" He's claiming that Ryan Reynolds was so aggressive that he had no choice but to offer repeated apologies for what was a good faith and reasonable question to ask of his trainer. Ryan Reynolds demanded that Baldoni remove the scene entirely. Lively refused to perform the lift scene in the end, even after it was rehearsed with a stunt double. Lively flat out lies in her complaint about the absence of the scene by claiming the scene wasn't in the film. The only reason the scene wasn't in the film is because Lively and Reynolds ensured it was taken out of the film. Accommodating Lively, Baldoni rewrote the scene with Lively, despite the fact that for creative reasons, this scene was important to him as a storyteller and director. In fact, Lively had earlier expressed insecurity about her postpartum figure, and Baldoni made every attempt to genuinely reassure her. Blake Lively is in gray, texting Justin about scheduling, and he responds to her and then says, "I want you to know you will look amazing. Anything you are insecure about, we will talk through and get creative together and make you comfortable. I just don't want you to stress about your body. It's the last thing you need. As soon as I have a rough schedule that's even remotely accurate, I'll share, and I'll make sure the team keeps this in mind as well." I guess Justin had sent her a voice memo, and she says, "Thank you for the voice memo. It is deeply appreciated. You are everything you promised to be as a collaborator. Thank you. I know my job here, and this piece is in big part my job here. We both understand the assignment as actors in the roles, but also as producers and also as marketers. We understand artistically, yes, but we get what we need to do in all aspects of this movie commercially. As woke as we both are and work to be, this movie requires a certain aesthetic. It's part of the job that we both excitedly signed up for. I don't shy away from it because it's not problematic. It's the assignment. Like when someone is about to start an athletic event, it's their job to be in top shape. My husband and I both look at certain roles as athletic events, and this is one of them. It's not always a part of the job, but on this one, it is, and that's great. As much as I'd love to not think about it, that would be irresponsible and also impossible because it's unrealistic to not acknowledge what I need to do." You can continue reading, but she says that I just need as much time as possible because I just had my fourth baby. I understand that you'll never personally know all the nuances of the challenges unless you live this physical moment in time I'm in with this physical road ahead. So having your understanding and support to help me pull this off is critical. And then
So in his new $400 million lawsuit against Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist Leslie Sloan, he had these gems to drop. Remember when he claimed that Blake Lively sequestered him, his team, and his family to the basement during the premiere of It Ends With Us? Well, he dropped some photos showing them in the basement celebrating the premiere. Not only that, but he also dropped a number of text messages between he and Blake, including some late night 2 a.m. texts. And not to mention the very lengthy text messages that she would send him, praising his work and also flexing her muscle, claiming that she is like Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, and she has Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift to be her dragons, to defend her and back her up, especially when it came to the script rewrites. We get a concerned email from Sony's legal team after Blake Lively claimed that Ryan Reynolds had helped rewrite some of the scenes of It Ends With Us. And some additional text messages from producers claiming that she is trying to hijack the film and that it is causing issues with production. He even shows his text messages with his trainer when there was the alleged fat shaming that was going on when he asked how much Blake weighed. Well, he's like, "Listen, here are my text messages.
You people did not hold back one bit. You people let it be that, hey, Justin may have something with these receipts and stuff on what's going on, and he may have proof that he probably can take down Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the power couple. Only time will tell. We're still watching this closely as it's going on, but we'll keep you updated on if we get the latest on what's going on between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively and a host of others. Thanks for watching this edition of Viral. I've been your host, Kendra Dix, saying so long. We'll see you next time for another edition of Viral.